Julie, thanks for being here on the podcast today. Yuliia or Julie?
Julie.
Julie. Okay, I said that right.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, thank you for being here. I'm really excited to hear about your story because I think Ukraine especially is on everybody's mind, fresh on everybody's mind anyways, as of recently. So would you go ahead and just tell our viewers, tell us your name and where you're from and what you do?
Okay, my real name is Yuliia, but I prefer American call me Julie.
Okay.
I'm from Mariupol. It's east part of Ukraine, near the sea, beautiful city. I was born there and spent there like 22 or 23 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school there and studied in the university there.
Yeah,
like
okay.
that.
And what do you do now? What do you do for work?
Right now I work in World Relief as an employment specialist.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I came here to get some help to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then they liked me and they let me stay here. Yeah, and now I help other people to find a job too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Super awesome. So I want to hear, because you said where you grew up was beautiful. So I want to hear a little bit about where you grew up and what it was like.
Oh, it was an amazing city near the sea, and it's very green and beautiful, especially the last maybe 5 or 10 years. It's been like grown up very fast.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more and more beautiful, like especially for holidays like Christmas or so.
Oh, yeah.
There's lights were everywhere. It was like
Lots of snow?
amazing. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Especially in winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but especially our sea, like people love to come to our sea to our city to see the sea.
Yeah.
Because it's so beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to imagine on a map what body of water is it? Is it the Atlantic Ocean or is it's a sea?
It's a sea. Sea of Azov.
Oh, the what?
Sea of Azov. That's the name.
Okay. Man, is it a saltwater sea?
Yeah.
Okay. All seas are saltwater, I think.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just trying to imagine it geographically. But that sounds beautiful. I would love to see there someday. And so, growing up there, you loved, huh?
Yeah, I loved. Home city is always good memories, but ours were especially fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
And when I decided to go to university, I decided to stay in my home city because it was unbelievably great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you went to university in your home city. Where did you go to school for?
I'm learning how to be interpreter from modern Greek and English.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, how old are you?
28.
28. And when did you have to leave Ukraine?
After university, I decided to go abroad just to travel a little bit and maybe work abroad a little bit. So I went to China and I was planning to stay there like for a year, maybe 2, but because of coronavirus and all the situation, I had to stay there for 4 years.
Okay, nice. And you still had family in Ukraine?
Yeah, my grandparents still live there.
Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about just what happened in Ukraine. So if you wouldn't mind, could you just give us a little bit of a history lesson, I guess, about what's going on there and why the war started?
Actually, it's really hard to understand why it all started. In 2014, our president decided to, he was given a choice where he wants to stay with, like if he want to stay with Russia and like work together and be closer, or Europe. He chose Russia, but all people of Ukraine, they didn't want to be there. They wanted to go to Europe to be more to like European course to choose.
Okay.
And it was like Maidan, if you heard about that. That's when we changed our president. It was pretty hard time, about 2 months. There were like some like fights in Kiev, and that's how we changed our president. We chose the one who decided to stay with Europe and going with them. And at the same time, Russia was angry because of that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how that's the time when they occupied Crimea, our like half island,
Mm-hmm.
and they caused. They said there is a problem with our language, because Ukrainian people, they speak Ukrainian and Russian, both.
Okay.
Like both languages are native for us, and there were ever no problem because of that. You can speak Russian, you can speak Ukrainian, people don't really care.
Okay.
But Russia said that there is a huge problem in Ukraine, that we are forced to speak only Ukrainian, and it's not very good for them. That's how it happened. It was a lie.
Yeah.
And then that's what the time in 2014, when they actually started the war, and they occupied a part of our territories.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was scary too. My home city wasn't bombed that time, but every evening we heard the bombs falling down somewhere.
Oh, wow.
In the villages. It was pretty scary, and after a couple of months of that, you actually could say what kind of bomb fell down
Really?
there. Yeah, you can
Wow.
say, oh, that's this one, or that's this one, or that's ours, answers to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once in February in 2015, my home city was also bombed, just part of it.
I'm so sorry.
About 30 people died that day.
Wow.
And well, then my home city was like a little bit further from all actual war, but the war kept going since 2014. It never stopped.
Okay.
Then in our president has been changed again. Now it's Zelensky. But we still didn't want to be with Russia, with any of their kind of policy. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and actually nobody knows why. It suddenly just, I still remember that morning when I woke up and saw the videos that, hey, the war started right now and here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty scary because nobody knew where to go. If you look at the map of Ukraine, can I show like that? So my home city is here,
Okay.
and Russia is here,
Mm-hmm.
and all people were trying to go like this way.
Okay, so you were very close to
And
the
here
border.
is like Poland and other countries.
Mhm.
So people tried to go to Europe, and I told my mom and my family also tried to leave, to escape, but that time the whole Ukraine was bombed and no place was safe
Oh my
actually.
goodness.
Yeah, there were Russian militaries near Kiev, and the bombs falling down even like pretty far from the border, like everywhere, and nobody was safe and nobody knew what to do.
Wow. So you had mentioned that you went to teach abroad, right? Were you in Ukraine when the war started, or were you abroad?
No, I was still abroad.
Okay. Where were you at?
China.
You're in China.
I couldn't
Okay.
come back. I really wanted, but I couldn't.
So how did that feel, being away from home and hearing all this news?
Oh, that was terrible. I still remember, like, I was checking the news every second. I
Yeah.
couldn't stop because right now we still have a lot of news, but they're still not that fast as it was then.
Okay.
And then there was a day when my mom called me and said, the mobile connection is going to disappear. Our city is like in a circle, and that's all. That's how everything disappeared, and I never knew about my family during like 2.5 months after that.
So you didn't know you didn't know if they were okay?
No,
Wow.
because the city was circled. There was no information from there.
Mm-hmm.
No mobile connection, no internet, no water, no electricity, nothing at all. That's all we knew.
Yeah.
And it was just like keep bombing, and that's all.
Oh my
And we
goodness.
had no idea what happens. Sometimes people find a way through forests or maybe through some roads. Not all of them actually. Most of them trying to escape and they were killed.
Wow.
But some of them escaped, and they say what's going on in the city, but it was like our city was 500,000 people,
Okay.
and it's a huge city, and like maybe this street, the person could say what happened in this particular street, but not the whole city.
But not the whole city.
Even my mom told me, even like they didn't know what's going on in neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how long was it until you were able to contact your family and even realize they were okay?
It was like 2.5 months.
Okay. And was everybody okay?
From my family?
Yeah.
Well, physically, yes.
Okay.
My mom then sent me through some people. I got a small picture of a note where she said that they are alive.
Wow.
And they hiding in basement of our neighborhood home.
Wow.
Neighborhood house. Yeah, my mom then told me to escape from city. They had to go with Russian troops, Russian militaries. Go to Russia, then from Russia through several countries like Latvia, Litva, I don't know which one, and then how they came to Poland. It took them several days to go there, like all this trip. And then my mom stayed in Poland and my grandparents came back to Ukraine, but to the safest place. Because since the war started, Ukrainian moved Russians from some territories, and some territories are pretty safe now.
Okay. Wow. So have you been able to go back to Ukraine since you left?
No, it's impossible.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Wow.
I didn't have the opportunity. My mom told me that after connection disappeared, they gathered all together. They were supposed, there were 3 people of my family, my mom and grandparents. They were supposed to hide in our apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But after 3 or 4 days, the bomb fell down and break the wall, so they have to move to the basement because there is no electricity, and it was still February and then March.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cold there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to make small fires
Mm-hmm.
in the yard, but there were helicopters. When they see people gather together to cook something or something, they just started shooting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, mom said a lot of people died this way. She saw so many people died.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they just person is walking and then just lay down.
Wow.
Once some people gathered together to maybe move somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
trying to, and then bomb was falling down there and all people died.
Oh my goodness.
After maybe a couple of weeks, my mom said they tried to look out from the basement to see what's going on actually, and she saw our house where our apartment is just burning.
Oh my goodness.
And she couldn't save anything except
Wow.
herself.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And now, you being away, I'm sure that was really hard, not being able to be there for your family. I guess, what did you do? You couldn't get back to Ukraine, and so is that when you came here to the States?
No, I went to the only country which I didn't need visa for. I went to Georgia and asked my mom to go to Georgia too. That's where we met after several years.
Wow.
Yeah, we spent some time there. Actually, we were a little bit confused, what should we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Because no home, no opportunities, no job, and
Mm-hmm.
I spent some time working in China, earn some money, but then when the war started, I actually sent them to our military.
Okay.
Didn't want to keep them. Yeah, and then we didn't know, and then my godfather, he lives here in Spokane. He sent a message to us hey, I want you to come here. There is a program. I invite you to America.
Wow.
That's how we came here.
Okay. So, who from your family is all here in the States then?
Just me and my mom now.
Okay. And do you still have family in Ukraine?
Yeah, my grandparents.
But they're in the safe part?
Yeah, pretty safe.
Okay. Wow. That's really crazy and very heavy. And thank you for sharing. I'm so fascinated and filled with compassion for just you and your family and your friends, and really I'm speechless that this is going on. What is the status of the country now?
It's still a war there.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ukraine's gonna win. no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it still needs a lot of time.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been in the States now?
For now, it's actually it's exactly a year.
Okay. Nice. Are you hopeful to go back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to come back.
Yeah.
Because when the war is going to be over, somebody will have to rebuild everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like my home city, when it was very beautiful, but now it's totally destroyed.
Wow.
Like there is no building with like which was not touched by the war.
Wow.
Like every building either destroyed, or there is no window, or there is no wall, or it was burned from the inside, like every.
Wow.
And because it's still Russia there, and now it's impossible to find out what else we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst thing that when they killed people, they didn't count them. They tried to hide the number of people.
Wow.
And for example, when they throw the bomb to the theater where actually all only children and their parents tried to hide, they just put concrete there without actually counting bodies. They just put concrete and just try to hide how many people actually died.
Wow. That's so heavy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I really hope that you can make it back too. And that's really cool that you want to have a hand in rebuilding Ukraine.
Well, somebody has to.
Yeah, for sure. Now the safe part of Ukraine, are you able to go back there, or is that?
Well, I'm
not
still
an
waiting
option?
for my documents, but
Sure.
well, my grandparents want me to stay here a little bit longer.
Okay.
Just like, hey,
Yeah. I
Be
want you to be
safe.
safe.
even if it's like pretty safe, the other part,
Mhm.
almost every night the siren is coming,
Wow.
and people know like they got how to say it, like notifications on
Okay.
their phone,
Mhm.
like this kind of bombs or shahed or whatever it is coming.
Mhm.
Please be safe. So even now, like some city can be bombed and you can do nothing.
Right.
Even if one bomb falls down, but it can kill people sometimes. So
Mhm.
it's not actually safe.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, since you've been in the United States, how has it been? How have you felt?
Oh, a little bit overwhelmed
Mhm.
with all the differences, but pretty nice.
Mhm.
We didn't expect it with my mom, but like after we came, maybe next day, we got like food benefits and cash assistance. Then they took us to World Relief.
Mhm.
So here, people were like helped us, not only with looking for a job, but also to see some culture differences.
Mhm.
We didn't know that they mean so much.
Yeah.
Like maybe some differences we didn't even know. Also, we live at Thrive now. It's a hotel which were built for Ukrainian refugees, but I think now not only Ukrainian live there.
Yeah.
It's also very useful because a lot of different kind of seminars, the classes happen there. They invite people from the bank or from I don't know, from different kind of places, like some lawyers, some policemen, to explain us what's the difference, what can we do,
Okay.
what's the right way to do something, which is pretty nice.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. So, what role has World Relief played in your transition from Ukraine to the United States?
Actually, probably the biggest,
Yeah.
because they hired me.
That's great.
And when the first time I came to this building and saw the office of now she's my friend, I thought, oh my God, I want to work in the office like that. Yeah, and then she tried to help me to find a job, and then every time something was wrong, and then she just called me and, hey, do you want to work with us?
Wow.
And I say, of course I do. Kidding, no questions. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm so glad I found this job because I met like new friends, and I really love my job. I'm volunteer to interpret anytime people need me because there are a lot of Ukrainians here.
Yeah.
And most of them don't know English. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy to help them anytime. I also interpret for the job club. The classes we have to show people some important moments of being here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
It's like the biggest part of being in America is world relief.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. So glad to hear that. Now, you knew English before you came here?
Yeah, because I'm an interpreter,
That's
and
right.
in China I was an English teacher.
Okay. Nice. Now, did you enjoy China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like vacation, but for 4 years.
Yeah. I'm sure it was hard when you learned about what was happening in your home country.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Chinese, even my friends, they did not really support me because they didn't understand the whole situation.
Right.
Like what they actually could know, not too much.
Right.
That's why they couldn't support. But I was on the phone all the time. When the war started, it was the moment when everyone remembered everyone he knew ever in his life. Classmates, relatives, some relatives' friends, friends, relatives, like that.
Yeah.
So we remember it well. Now people like my friends, they live in every part of the world.
Wow.
Canada, in Europe, in Asia, even one friend in Australia.
Wow. Because that's just where they got placed. Okay. Are you able to keep in touch with a lot of those people?
Yeah, with most of them.
And your grandparents, are you able to keep in touch with them pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's awesome.
Because they are from Mariupol, it's kind of important that we are from that city. My grandparents stayed there and they got a lot of help. They got food and some hygiene and also some medicine. Like my grandpa needs a surgeon, and it's going to be free for them because they're from Mariupol.
Okay, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there
Sure.
Is there anything on your mind that you would like the viewers to know just about the conflict in Ukraine, or to know about the refugee life?
The worst thing, in my opinion, is propaganda and how strong it is and how it can destroy everything you believe in. It's very hard to believe sometimes how strong it is and how it influences your mind. Well, being a refugee is pretty hard because, it's new country and new life and new job and new friend, and it seems pretty nice when you have something to come back to. But when there is nothing to come back to, it's not only your opportunity, but actually it's the only opportunity. If you do not get this and grab everything you suggested here, then you have nowhere to come back. My grandpa, I traveled pretty much in my life, and every time I left my home, my grandpa always said, like, if it's going to be bad there, you need to come back home. Always. And it was like, such a warm heart. Words which I always remembered, even when it was like some struggles abroad, I still remembered his words. If it's that bad, you always should come back home. And now it's like there is no home. Wow. He doesn't say it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it sounds to me like you're hanging on to hope, because you do want to go back to Ukraine someday. And so how do you hang on to hope? Is that through your faith, or what is that through?
I don't know. I just believe it. I know it. It's like it's gonna happen. We are Ukrainian. We are sure can do that.
That's awesome. You have a lot of Ukrainian pride.
I am.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy I'm Ukrainian.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. When the war actually started, and there was it was about 2 months since I haven't heard about my family, and I went to salon to do the tattoo.
Oh, cool.
Ukrainian one. And
that's very
just,
cool.
To know that, hey, I'm Ukrainian.
Yeah.
I was talking to myself, you have no right to lose your hope or lose anything. And after I made it, because my mom was always against any tattoo. I thought, okay, now she's gonna like find me and say, what's wrong with you? Next day I got the message from her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I thought that, wow, it's really a miracle.
That is a miracle. Oh man, praise God. That's so cool. So tell me about this tattoo. What is the image on there, and what is the meaning?
This is our flag.
That's your flag and your
and
colors.
the wheat, because our land,
Mm-hmm.
we grow wheat a lot and send, like our land is very good.
Yeah.
We grow a lot of wheat and make bread and send it to different countries.
Okay, cool. So what is the best part about Ukraine as a country before the war?
Oh, there are too many things I want to say. Like, I don't know. We are very optimistic.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
So the
we
people
are
are
so
great. I assume.
free. We feel freedom. Even our national son, we always very proud of that. We are free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll never be under somebody.
Mm.
Nobody is gonna tell us how to live.
Mm-hmm.
And we always have the opportunity to love no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Even our president, he was comedian.
Oh.
Yeah,
Funny.
before he was a comedian, and pretty good actually.
Oh, funny, I did not know that.
Yeah, he was not just an actor, but also very talented comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, like now, some comedy shows, they still keep working to maybe sometimes entertain people. Sometimes they just earn money for our military.
Mm.
And they have a slogan like, if we love, it means we are not giving up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. If we love, that means we're not giving up.
Yeah, if we still have the strength to laugh at our problems, then it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Ukraine sounds awesome. I hope I get to go someday, and I'm looking forward to the day when you get to go back.
Oh yeah, it's still beautiful. The nature, the people, we really care about it.
Yeah.
Our food is pretty delicious. It's really delicious.
Oh yeah. What's like a staple Ukraine food?
Borscht.
Say that again.
Borscht.
Borscht. I think I know what that is. What is? Explain
It's
that to me.
beetroot soup.
Okay. Yes.
With tomato, with
I've
cabbage.
had that before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best one.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And maybe kind of like dumplings with cherry inside.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one.
Very cool. Okay. Well, thank you so much. That was great. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Was that okay? Did you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I'm fine. I love sharing this kind of stuff because I think people sometimes they can forget about it, or because sometimes some people from other countries say, hey, Ukrainian, you talk too much about the war, but it's still there. And
yeah, it's still very real.
People dying, and if we will not remind you, then how will you know what is going on?